Hello, welcome to Stampin' by Hannah today. Thank you so much for joining me. This is not quite live. Usually I go live on a Sunday over on my Facebook page, but I have chosen this week to share a pre-recorded video. The reason being, I'm really tired. I haven't seen my husband properly for about 3 weeks, and tonight is our one opportunity to have some time together, so I decided that I would pre-record this one. So it is Sunday afternoon, I'm not massively early. Pre-record this video ready for you to see at 7:30, and means that I get a little bit of time with James, which is great. So, I've got a quite simple card for you as well. We're going to use Kindest Gnomes this week. I love this stamp set. The lined images are so pretty, and I have finally, I've been promising this for a few weeks, found the sample that I did at a team event recently. I mean, look, I need to put him on a card at some point. He's just so cute. That is Tahitian Tide, Parakeet Party, Sweet Sorbet. I think that might be, I don't know what colour that is actually, that yellow. Smoky Slate and some of the skin tones. I really need to work out what that yellow is because it's stunning. It might even just be Daffodil Delight. This one as well, he's just adorable. And I mean, they just colour up so nicely. And I'm not colouring them today. Today I am cheating because the coordinating die set that goes along with this stamp set is this one. It is called, I've got all the dies off at the minute, the Gnomes dies. Nothing fancy, the Gnomes dies. You've got the die that cuts out the toadstool. Each one of the gnomes has a die. It coordinates as well with the designer series paper. There's some little toadstools, there's some grass. There's a really funny little dot die, which I discovered earlier on is so you can thread twine through your card, which is handy. But there is also these dies. There's a little beard, there's a hat, there's some boots, and there's two of these, which happen to be the same size as the nose on the beard. So I've cut out a nose. So I've used the dies basically today. I have got one little bit of stamping. I have already done the die cutting because there was quite a bit of it to do. So basically today's a bit of an assembly. But I've also got some of the designer series paper. So I've got a card base of Knight of Navy. I'm going to shuffle all of that off to one side a second. Card base of Knight of Navy. Now I make all my card bases the same. I cut a piece of A4 cardstock in half, score them in half. Whether I do that tent fold that way, or book fold that way, I basically, they're the same measurement. So my card front is 10.5 centimetres wide and 15.8 centimetres tall. And I then have a piece of basic white to go on the front, which is 10 by 14.85 by 14.3. And then my designer series paper, which is 9.5 by 13.8. So there's always 0.5 centimetre shorter and narrower, kind of going down the front of my card. So that's going to layer up really nicely with that lovely little white border. I'm going to stick all these bits together as we go along. Like I said, nothing complicated or groundbreaking really today. Just a really nice simple card that you can make lots of, or variations of, lots of, for all of those people you've got to make Christmas cards for this year. Because I know I've still not started. I've got a plan, just haven't started it yet. So the other set of dies I've got out, basically permanently on my desk, are these. These are the stitched shapes, and I've taken the very, very biggest circle and cut a circle, and I've also used the long thin kind of banner piece, and die cut a banner. That's for my sentiment. This is what I'm going to mount my gnome on in a second. I love these dies though because they die cut obviously they die cut the circle, but then they have the the kind of dots on the inside of the circle, but she gets a scrap back off the machine. If you look, the kind of outer edge is also dotted, which means you can do some really cool things, really cool effects. I do need to have a bit more of a play about with it to get some cards that use that kind of dotted outer. Which reminds me, I do have one that I shared last week. Where's it gone? Here it is. This card that I shared on my blog last week, which has, and I don't know how you can see it, that dotted edge around the around that die cut circle. This was for a crafty challenge. I mean, it uses the Hues of Happiness and the Amazing Thanks dies, but I absolutely love this card. But yeah, that's kind of, that dotted effect is just so cool on the outside of a die cut like that. Love it. So, I'm going to layer up our circle. I'm not going to stick it down just yet. I'm going to move the card off to one side for a second and move these dies out of the way. Then I have got the little beard die, which cuts and embosses the little beard. Love that. So I've got a beard. I've got the little feet die, which I have die cut already using a piece of Knight of Navy card, because obviously my card base is Knight of Navy. This colour on the designer series paper is also Knight of Navy, so that's how our gnome's going to layer up like that. Then I've also, and this is slightly not traditional, but I'm trying to keep in a colour palette here, the little nose I have also die cut out of Knight of Navy. Now, I know it's a little bit weird. We've got a blue-nosed gnome, but I'm okay with that. And then I have used some of the other designer series paper for his little hat. How cute is he? Love that. So I'm going to layer him up onto this circle. Now, I do kind of need to, I want a bit of his hat sticking off the top and a bit of his feet sticking off the bottom. So if we, pop the sort of nose needs to go just a little bit above centre, doesn't it? So I'm going to pop up the beard piece on a couple of dimensionals. And pop that dimensional back to dimensionals, get everywhere. I have a little pot, a little goo pot on my desk where I put all my kind of die backs and runaway bits of cardstock, but they just do get everywhere. Then I want a little bit of seal on the feet, and they've got a little bit of a body as well. I'm going to tuck those up underneath, just so we've got a little bit of feet sticking back out again. Then our hat needs to be on a dimensional as well, because otherwise it's not going to be above the beard. Now, can you see there's little lines that come down? So that's going to tell us where this hat needs to sit as a kind of guide. There, and then I need a little mini dimensional for his nose, because that's going to poke out from underneath that hat. I'm going to use my take a pick to get good positioning on this, because my fingers are too big. There we go. Look at him. Isn't he just adorable? So he's going to sit kind of slightly off to one side on our card. I just need to sort out the sentiment. So we've got our little banner piece, and I've got the sentiment Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, because it's a Christmas card. There are some really nice sentiments on this Kindest Gnome. Oh, they've all fallen off the desk. On this Kindest Gnome stamp set, but actually this is the only kind of really overtly Christmas one. And I've pulled the Balmy Blue ink pad, because that's the colour of his hat. There is a little bit of Balmy Blue in the background paper as well. So, and this is a bit tight. I'm hoping, because I normally would stamp and die cut, but today I've been brave. I put my big girl pants on, and I've die cut first and then stamped. But I think that's worked out okay. It'll do for me. So, we're just going to layer that across. So I want my seal adhesive that I've then put somewhere for the back of our gnome, and I am going to just pop him off to one side now. I know it's going to look really weird for a moment. Ooh. Just because I've got this flappy bit, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to run my scissors straight down, she says, straight down so it's in line with the cardstock, with the designer series paper. There, that looks better, doesn't it? Much better. It doesn't actually matter if you've not got that close. You could cut it with the outer edge, just so that, because you can't see because it's all white. It's all good. Then I want some seal on this end of my sentiment and one true size dimensional on the other. I'm just going to pop that there. And I think to finish, where have they gone? Some of the fine sparkle adhesive backed gems. I love these. We're going to go with the blue colour. Do we go? This is supposed to be Pacific Point, and I think that's supposed to be Coastal Guano. So I think the brighter blue, but I'm just going to go with 3 of the smaller ones. Just like that, and that is our card for today. As always, I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, which means that you can purchase any of the products that I've used in today's video in my online store. You can make this card your very, very self using the products in the supply list, which is available in the down bar below. The blog post for this card will go up first thing tomorrow morning. I actually have 2 blog posts for you tomorrow, so check this one out, and then later on in the day, check the other one out as well. There will already be a blog post link. If you're watching this sort of semi-live, there will be a blog post link in the description. It's not going to go live till tomorrow morning, but I can't, it's just too complicated otherwise, so it'll go all at once. So that is it. Thank you ever so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.